Greetings to everyone far and near. We are here at the Yedidya studio trying to give out a message before Pesach. For those who have heard our series of shiurim on various topics, chinuch, shalom bayis, assorted other topics, so you will know already, and for those of you who haven't heard us, we spend a lot of time trying to help people with their chinuch for their children, for themselves, and with their emotional health altogether. So these are points of advice and divrei Torah that Rabbi Yechiel Yaakovson and his Talmidim have given over in various formats that we want to share with you as a series of tips, if you will, to try to improve how the Seder goes. Obviously, we don't know exactly who's going to hear this. We certainly have no way to gauge its effect, but we're hoping at least somewhere, somehow, someone's Seder will go at least somewhat better, if not, an all-out home run, so to speak, based on the thoughts that we share. There is a mitzvah, everyone knows, V'yigada to levincha. The word Haggadah in its literal nuance means words that are moishech the lev, things that have an emotional pull, things that interest the person who's hearing them and give him a sense of emotional connection. Well, in a nutshell, the proper way to do this mitzvah is to experience within oneself the joy and the satisfaction, to feel that roimamus and that elevated sensation of that special sensation, and share it with our children. That's the mitzvah. Unfortunately, for many of us, although it should be an experience of pleasure, sometimes, if not often, it is not. And this happens on both sides of the scale, both from the parental side, if you will, and from the child side, if you will. I remember a friend of mine telling me he's a skilled mechanech, but that his Pesach Seder has to be run a certain way. His in-laws are there, and his father-in-law demands that it be recited in Yiddish or whatever and follow a certain format, and his children just have to play along with that. There's something stiff and formal about it. This is part and parcel of what we talk about often, that Chazal described as the challenge we're going to face right before Mashiach comes. I have young men in shidduchim who come to talk to me about their emotional lives, about their challenges in finding a shidduch and interacting on a date. And interestingly enough, the Pesach Seder comes up in our conversations. I can't bear my father just droning and giving over all of his divrei Torah, and I have to listen, and I have to feign interest, and I'm not looking forward to it. This inhibits the children's experience at the Seder. It also inhibits generally the connection that they develop with their interior selves, with their true selves. A young fellow told me that he came back from yeshiva, he's learning in Eretz Yisrael, and I asked him about it, and he said, yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm learning this, I'm learning that. I said, well, why are you learning Kiddushin? And he tells me, because going through the motions, paying the taxes, following the system, his mind is on anything but. And he knows how to fake it. He knows how to say the right words and appear to be interested. And then I ask him about the Pesach Seder. I mean, what is the Pesach Seder supposed to be? His parents are co-opted by their parents. And their parents run some kind of an event where his job, the child's job, the 22-year-old's job, is to pretend to be interested and swallow his frustration and just survive. This is a terrible aberration to what should be a mitzvah of pleasure. So here we are. We've got a problem, and let's just look at the problem together. We ourselves as fathers have fulfillment issues. I certainly do. We don't necessarily have those audiences clamoring to hear those pearls of wisdom that we think that we have to share. So we're eager for our once a year grandstanding, and this is our chance, and wow, we're going to just blow them away with all of our intelligent ideas. Our wives are usually totally gone by the time they get to Seder night, and even if they weren't, they've generally heard us drone enough to have tuned us out long term, unfortunately. The children, for the most part, I'm sure there's somewhere where this goes well. We're trying to help people where it could be improved. Our children, on the whole, dread the occasion. They want to get to the food. They want to share what they have to say. They want to talk about what they find interesting. They don't want to deal with their father's self-fulfillment issues. And just to add fuel to this already raging fire, not always, not everyone, but a lot of people, we get the phone calls. Just to add fuel, we the fathers often have, as the Baal Haggadah, we have expectations. We know what time we want the karpas and when we want to eat the afikomen by. And of course, even our kids are going to brag to their friends that we went till 5 in the morning and we outdid the neighbors. And all the little children are going to sit like angels, and everyone's going to smile and drink in thirstily all of our presentations, and our wives will be so impressed with the really, really smart vertlach that we've prepared. And it's going to go like clockwork. Whoever saw that happen? Nobody. It hasn't happened. So the higher the expectations, the more the frustration. One little person decides to upend the situation, does the 10 makkos at the beginning of that gada and pours grape juice over everyone, and the place goes haywire. That's often what happens. And the more the Baal Haggadah gets frustrated, I don't have to tell you, it's an endless, repetitive cycle, often of negativity. So we can't solve this in a sentence or in a 10-minute video or whatever this is supposed to be, but we're certainly going to try to offer some practical solutions. The key to this is we as parents have to learn to be natural. Don't tell your wife all your chedushim. Remember that the likely story is if you're zeichet to have children, they didn't take the nap that you were bribing and punishing them to take, no matter how hard you tried. You took the nap. You've got a lifetime of information to share, and they're on a very short fuse, most of the time. And what happens? At the get-go, some little guy or some little girl is diving into the charoises. It's not time for the charoises. You're not even supposed to eat the charoises. You're supposed to brush it off when you do dip into the charoises. Frustration rises. Negativity starts to blossom like weeds in a garden. But now we've got an eitzah. Be natural, go with it. Learn to enjoy the child, the curiosity, the childlike innocence, the mischief. Learn to appreciate it. The best thing that could happen on the Doiraisa of Igad de Levincha is the kid could start asking questions about the charoises. Let him spill it. Let him complain that he hates apples and ginger. Let them do their thing and learn to connect with it, flow with it, go with it, enjoy it. If we learn to open up and enjoy the children that Hashem gave us, really to experience it from the perspective of the inner child inside of ourselves, if we can do that naturally, and we have a whole shir about that, that's clearly not the time, but if we can see the cuteness and the wonderment in that little girl and go with it, we're going to have a better time. And again, if we're going to experience the pleasure, experience the relaxation, if we're going to feel, wow, it's geschmack, look what we have, children, Torah, mitzvahs, avodas Hashem. We are blessed. Every Yid has brachos adin shir. Those who are zeichet to have a spouse, those who are zeichet to have a child, those who are zeichet to have more than one child. There's some people that are alone on Pesach, and even that, if that's your situation, you're not alone, and you know better than I that you're not alone. Hashem is with you. To come to the Seder and feel that sense that Hashem has chosen me. Rabbi Yechiel said once, my science may be off, but I think the way he put it was, imagine a spaceship traveling at the speed of light. If it traveled straight for a year, it wouldn't manage to travel from one end of one galaxy to the other. And there are numerous galaxies. But all of this together, it's not even a germ in Hashem's hands. It's nothing. And he said, the one vart you should take home with you as you come home from shul on Pesach night. Remember what the Rashba says. When we talk about dilug and Passover, Hashem chose only a fraction of the Jews left Mitzrayim, and we were among them, and our children were there. Kilu hu yatsa mi Mitzrayim. What does that mean, says a Rashba? It means you're not part of a group, you got picked as an individual. Hashem looked at all those worlds and galaxies and people and creatures and endless amounts of things which aren't even a germ in his hand. And he said, I'm picking you personally. Not, okay, you just go along, you're close enough, put him in the Yetzias Mitzrayim group. It's not that. He says, I want to hear from you. You're a melech. You're coming home from shul. You will one day be a melech in Hashem's melucha. And everything in the world will be yours. And your connection with Malchus Shemayim will be unimaginable. And the pleasures that Hashem will give you, you're on a fast train headed at the unbelievable speed towards immense, enormous, unending pleasure. That's what it means to be a Yid. L's'aneg al Hashem. And tonight at the Seder, we're supposed to get a sense of that, a feel of that. Just remind yourself about the Rashba. Feel the Raimamus. Bask in the revelation and experience of who you are and what gifts you have. If you come home in that mood, he said, you shouldn't run into a discipline problem. Because when you're feeling that you're the mashpia, you're here to give what they need. Take interest in what they have interest in. Revel in the pleasure of their satisfaction, but you're the mashpia. Generally, they won't act out. He said something equipped. He said, there are 400 Haggadahs in the store, and I'm planning to print my own one. I'm going to print the Haggadah, he said, with just the text. None of the Mefarshim. I tried this last year myself. It did wonders for me. I'm not Chalila denigrating. The Torah is endless, and the Pirushim are endless. My Rashiva, Rabbi Yaakovson, always tells me, know your audience. Know to whom you're speaking. You have to speak to them. I was at the Rashiva Seder. He virtually did not add a word to Magid. I think he made 2 points during Magid to the text. We are here to give over and to sense and experience Malchus. We're becoming Avdei Hashem, and He's the Melech. And we are a Melech in His Melucha under Him. So prepare a room, if you think it's necessary, on the side, and put some treats there and some games. And if a child Chalila does act out, say to her, if you're not able, I'm so sorry for you, if you can't enjoy this, if this experience is above you, let's go into the other room for a while, and you'll stay there until you feel that you're ready to appreciate what's going on here. The key to this is, should that erupt, you must endeavor to sense, to dwell, to think, so that the feeling overtakes you of Rachmanas. Not anger, not frustration, not disappointment and expectations that weren't met. Not that. Just Rachmanas. A Jewish child is not ready yet. She will be, she'll get there. But to miss out on this unbelievable experience is Rachmanas. And for those of you who have heard the Shiurim before, you'll understand that when I choose that word, when Rabbi Yechiel chooses that word, this is not an eitzah from a psychology book. This is not some mental health idea. The word Rachmanas is a quote from Sisrei Torah in this context. We are here to do what Hashem asks us to do, to fulfill His mitzvahs. The Lamdanim among you know that if you don't enjoy the taste of the matzah, you're not yotzi the mitzvah. Rabbi Yechiel put it this way: is it charcoal? Did you burn it in your frumkeit so much? Would you want to eat this the day after Pesach? Would the taste appeal to you? Because if it wouldn't, sadly, your bracha is levatala, and you don't have a kiyum on the mitzvah. The pleasure is the mitzvah. And that's true of the whole Seder. V'higada to levincha, to revel in the pleasure. So if we can contribute, and I say so not from the perspective of someone who does it well, you just need to ask my children, but for someone who regrets and who tries to do it better, if we can learn to experience and let go and be natural with the child inside of ourselves, and be natural with our spouses and our children, and enjoy the simcha of the avodas Hashem in general, and the ve'gadat levincha and the mitzvah salayla of Leil Seder in particular, if we can contribute to that in any way, that will be for us its own reward. May we be zoicha b'nisan nigalu u'b'nisan asidin ligo. May our avodas Hashem lead us to the true fulfillment of the Gula Asida from Rav Yemeinu, Amen v'Amen.